Today is a big project day. We're going to be taking Chloe, our rescued snapping turtle, since she has outgrown this 40-gallon aquarium, and we'll be upgrading her to a 100-gallon watering trough used for horses and cattle. Chloe's trough will be going into Rex's room. He uses his pool and only the basking spot, but we're going to leave half of this for him. Oh, thanks for pooping on your cave, dude. And we'll be putting her 100-gallon trough in the corner right here, hopefully, as long as it fits. Then we'll be taking the stinkpots or musk turtles from this tank and moving them down into Chloe's 40-gallon, which will give them tons of space, as well as give a little extra space for the other turtles that live in our 75. Anyway, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Let's get started. This is Chloe's new enclosure, and just to give you an idea for how big it is, I can fit in it. Someone's all tuckered out from all the exciting things happening in his room. I think we have it figured out. From the stock tank, it will drain out into here. Oh, quiet, you're fine. And it'll drain then into Rex's pool. And inside of this basket where he can't reach it and pull the tubes, it will be sucked out and into this canister filter. And then once it's cleaned, it'll shoot through a heater and back into the snapping turtle tank. Now I'm just siphoning out the gunk that has settled in Rex's pool because we want everything to start clean since they'll be sharing a filter. And hey, look. Oh, that's cool. That's one of Rex's teeth. Really? We should almost sell necklaces with Rex's teeth in them.
There you go.
If anyone would be interested in a necklace with Rex's tooth in it, comment below. There's like 6 in here.
There's more on the other side too.
Are there?
Yeah, other side.
Oh,
3 of them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's one,
God,
there's one, there's 2.
So before anyone just stop it. You're fine. Before anyone freaks out, alligators do shed their teeth constantly, and they're constantly growing new ones as well to replace them. So this is normal. It's not because he has something wrong with him that we're finding teeth. They're just gonna be there if you have an alligator. Where could Rex be hiding? I don't know. He's pretty well hidden. Well, it's getting really close to the moment of truth when we determine if it drains properly without leaking out the back. But we don't see any drips yet, so our fingers are crossed. All right, water level is over the strainer, so let's test it out.
Reaching.
Is it draining? Yes! It works! Now we'll just fill up Rex's pool, and it'll be one big cycle.
And there's no drips.
And no drips. Everything is filled up. It's all finished. The heater and the filter are both running. We have a little bit of driftwood in here for now. What I still have to add would be a UVB light on top and maybe a couple other larger objects for her to climb on or push off from when she swims. But other than that, it's done. Now it's time to add Chloe. Uh-oh, hang on. The water level in the stock tank is raising and Rex's pool is draining, which means that the filter is pushing water in at a faster rate than it is draining out, which is odd because the tubes are exactly the same size that we use for drainage that the canister filter is using. But regardless, we have to adjust this somehow. We added a second strainer. Now it's ready. One of the drainage pipes is bubbling, but that's okay because Rex likes to look at the bubbles throughout the day, and it'll keep the fish alive longer when we feed him live fish. Do you like your bubbles? All right, Chloe, it's your big day. Aw, you're such a sweetie. I do love you. You're such a friendly snapping turtle. You ready? Here we go. Check it out.
Right into the input tube.
Of course. You can't squeeze under there.
She's like, you want to bet? I did it.
Look at all that space you have now. The next project for today is moving the stink pots down into Chloe's tank. We're moving the stink pots down there into their own 40-gallon tank for just the trio because we're hoping we can set them up for breeding. Because stink pots or musk turtles make a really good pet turtle compared to most others because of their small adult size. You are hungry, apparently. If you ever have calcium buildup on the glass of an aquarium or a terrarium for that matter, the best way to get rid of it, and very quickly, is to use pH down or pH decrease. It goes by different names. It's basically sulfuric acid, so do be careful if you use this. But you just pour a little bit onto a sponge, wipe it on top of the calcium buildup, let it sit for a few seconds, and then you can actually wipe it right off. Sometimes if it's really built up, like this is, it might take, like right here, another coating, but it'll look good as new after you're done with this. And it's okay if it drips into the tank because it's fish safe and therefore it's turtle safe too. Let's see how it looks. Ta-da! Might take a little bit more TLC right there, but the rest looks like it's a brand new tank. Alright, now that the glass is clean, we're going to add sand as the base because the stink pots love to forage on the bottom of the tank, so this will give them some enrichment. Tip number 2, if you're scooping sand or gravel into a tank at an awkward angle, beta cups from PetSmart work really well as scoopers. I also do not have the filter running at this point because I don't want it to suck up all the silt that comes in with this sand. Let it settle first before you start up the filter. Also, remember to rinse out your sand first because there's a lot of very small particles that just dirty up your water if you don't rinse it out first. Rinse it until the water is as clear as you can get it. And when you put it into the tank, lower the cup to the bottom and then spill it out so it doesn't spread as much as if you were to pour it in from above. At this point, you could either do a big water change to remove all of this free-floating silt, or you can let it settle as much as it can, and then when you turn on the filter, it might stir it up again, but then the filter will catch that silt in the water. Just make sure you clean out your filter pretty soon afterwards so that it doesn't get too gunked up, but it will catch it for you. I'm going to do the latter of the two. I'm going to turn on the filter to kind of clear it out, and I'm going to let it sit for a little while until I can put things into it and kind of decorate it and then add the turtles last. Now that the water has cleared up, we can add our accessories and our plants. I'm just going to deck it out with all sorts of stuff for the stink pots. We have a new basking platform style that we're going to use. We cut this to fit, and you can just get this material at Menards or Home Depot, really any hardware store, and it's really easy to cut. And we're going to suspend it right above the water level so that they can remain completely dry when they sit on top. And we figured the easiest way to hold it up would be with suction cups, just holding it up on the sides. of their time in the water, I'm going to put the UVB kind of over the water, but if they need a lot of UVB and they're feeling it for some reason to bask underneath it, they still have that opportunity to do so right here. There we are. Oh, they're gonna love this. They even have a tunnel on the way too. All right, finally, let's add the stink pots. This is our boy. He has a little bit more of an attitude than the other two. We can tell he's the boy because he has the longer, thicker tail. We'll set him in. And he has two girlfriends. We have this one, which we found on Craigslist being sold as a map turtle. Obviously that is not true, and I was really excited to discover it was in fact a stink pot. We'll set her in here. And his other girlfriend, which is she and him came from the musk turtle unboxing video. They're still doing great, as you can see. She's very active. Look at her go. Oh, this is like a mansion for them.
Yeah, it is.
They're gonna friggin' love this. And then the plan is maybe to get some water lettuce or duckweed, or maybe I can put some hornwort from my aquarium upstairs in here and get some more natural plants in. And finally, we'll have to add some sort of nesting area for these guys up here, but that'll come a little bit later once we figure out what exactly we want to do for that. And this is about full grown for stink pots or musk turtles, which is why we think they're one of the better turtles to keep because they're less likely to outgrow their tank and therefore be unwanted and end up in rescues. So if you want a pet turtle, a musk turtle is the way to go. And hopefully we'll have some captive bred babies from this trio in the future. This is also a species that spends most of their time on the ground, which is why we did decide to do some sort of substrate for them, so it could provide some enrichment opportunities instead of a bare-bottomed tank. In the meantime, our softshell turtle likes his brand new piece of driftwood, I think. Another benefit of this style of basking platform is it allows light to pass through it as opposed to a solid platform which would just block it off. It'll keep the bottom of the tank a lot brighter as a result. And the final part of this project is cleaning up the glass of their tank and giving the remaining turtles in the 75 a new platform because their old one was starting to sag and it really needed to be replaced. So they're getting a new one too. There, let's see if that fits. We got this platform idea from a turtle friend of ours. Let's see if it works. Ed did a good job cutting this to size. Oh, but it's
You're gonna have to go under the.
stuck right there.
Yeah, you'll have to go under the.
Oh, that's so much sturdier than the last one. Oh, goodbye. And this is pushed out by a brace underneath so that it won't just hang vertically, so it's actually a ramp they can climb up. Here's their basking light. Oh my god, that looks awesome! I can't wait. And they can all fit on there too. Even this big lady. There you go. Nice. Now the turtles can bask under the light and under their UVB, and they can literally drip dry. Turtles will stretch their legs out behind them. In case you've ever seen them basking in the wild, they'll do this because they need to completely dry in order to kill the bacteria on their bodies. So this way they can dry off completely to kill that bacteria. Now, after adding a UVB lamp to Chloe's enclosure and adding a heater to their water, everything is finally complete. And I'll add the light and heater later. This video is just long enough. We're going to add some live plants. This is hornwort from my aquarium upstairs. And this is a free-floating plant, so you don't have to let it take root, or you don't have to push it underneath the sand or gravel. So it just floats around, and since it's up near the surface of the water, the UVB light above should help it grow like a weed. And the turtles can munch on this if they want, and even if they don't, it's still great for water quality because any live plant will help break down nitrites into nitrates, and it kind of just makes a little environment in the tank itself. Plus, it makes the tank just look nice, too. Alright, so yeah, then other than a heater, this tank is done. As well as this tank and hers after the UVB. So thanks again for watching the transition of these three turtle tanks. They are certainly liking it. It's actually been about a week, and they have all gotten used to how to use the basking platforms, and the stinkpots are really enjoying their mansion of a cage. There's one that likes to hide under that driftwood, but I don't see it right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.